Hey guys, this time on Classic Reviews, we're going back to 1902 to talk about A Trip to the Moon. A Trip to the Moon was directed by Georges Méliès, one of the pioneers of early filmmaking, and considered to be, by many, one of the greatest filmmakers to ever live, being held up there with the greats such as the Lumiere brothers that were around the same time. Georges Méliès is extremely important to the story of film because of what he brought to the table. Georges Méliès himself was a magician turned filmmaker, and he brought his stories to life in a very interesting and unique way, pioneering special effects in film that had never been done quite like this before. And we're talking again about one of his most important and influential pieces, A Trip to the Moon. A Trip to the Moon follows a group of astronomers as they try to send people to the moon and back to Earth. And this is an incredible, epic little film that I absolutely love, from its concept, which is delving into ideas brought up in the works of Jules Verne. This movie is definitely inspired by his works, and I just love the steampunk feel of it, the costumings, the sets that are absolutely gorgeous, and it makes you feel like you are watching a play, and it makes you feel just like you're watching something magical happen. There's something magical about watching these short little films from over 100 years ago, and it is done beautifully here. The sets, the costumes, and of course, one of the most important and influential and just one of the best shots in filmmaking in general is, of course, the scene of the man in the moon and the rocket being blasted right into his eye. It is an extremely iconic image that has been shown many times before. It is so just ingrained in film culture. It is absolutely amazing, and I love the techniques that Georges Méliès was able to bring to the table here. And also, it's one of those very early films that also has color to it as well. You can watch this film in either black and white, or there is a colored version where Georges Méliès had the film stock colored in these beautiful, vibrant colors. It's a very early version of colored films, and it is absolutely amazing to watch. It is an epic journey, even if it is done in such a short amount of time, only lasting for, depending on the frame rate you watch it at, 9 minutes, 15 minutes, but it is still an incredible journey that is very important to the story of film, and I think people should sit down and watch this incredible film and see just where we started and see its influence throughout all of cinema. Martin Scorsese is a big lover of this film, and you can definitely tell in his film Hugo, which is very heavily ingrained in the filmmaking procedures of that time, being a true love letter to cinema, and also really delving into Méliès himself as a person, as a character. And also, we get to see moments of A Trip to the Moon in that you can see how influential this was to not just people at the time, but filmmakers to this very day. I'm gonna give A Trip to the Moon an 8 out of 10. And though I gave this movie an 8 out of 10, it is still one of the most important films ever made. It is a wonderful little film that I think everybody should watch. If you are a big lover of filmmaking, of movies in general, you need to look back at the past and look at this tiny little film and see how films continued on from this. This is one of the starting points of filmmaking, and to see it is honestly beautiful when you see how far we have come from that and how this film, as well as many others of its time, have continued to influence us in filmmaking. Well, guys, I want to thank you for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been thinking a lot about doing more classic reviews, especially with early cinema, which I think is just fascinating. Some of the films that are out there that people don't really talk about. Everybody talks about the new films. Everybody talks about films from 20, 30, 40 years ago, but nobody talks about these classics, especially on YouTube. There are very few channels that really delve into these small little films that leave big impacts. A lot of it is down to us, like small YouTubers that don't get very many views, and I think we need to preserve and talk about these films more. But anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review.